What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm bringing you another BT9 locals match. This is going to be between myself on the left playing Imperialdramon, and then on the right we are going to be having BlackWarGreymon Galmon, a deck that has been really climbing in the ranks in this metagame, starting to get some really good results. This also isn't the easiest matchup for Imperial anymore. In the previous metagames, I didn't think it was that bad. In fact, I thought it was quite Imperial favored because of Megadeth. They would bring out their stack, you'd be able to Megadeth it away, and they'd have to rebuild. However, now with the Greymon X Antibody inheritable, you can just kind of Digiburst those away to prevent the Megadeth. So our biggest tool to go against the BlackWarGreymon deck is shut down by these new inheritable cards in BT9. So gonna be a little bit different from what we saw before, but we see my opponent is searching out here, going with the Black Agumon and then the Agumon X Antibody on top. So gonna be able to search out the Greymon there. They do have another Agumon in Raising, so instead of just going Raising first, they were searching out. I don't think it really changes anything too much, but now we go into the Greymon, tapping the Nokia, so it's only for one. This is why Nokia is so strong. Outside of just being able to play Agumons out for free and get those effects, being able to reduce the Digivolution costs of these Greymon cards is very good, especially since a lot of them are very expensive, like this Metal Greymon right here, because it does Digivolve for 4, so the Nokia, bringing it down to 3, keeping it more reasonable, the same Digivolve cost that a lot of Ultimates are. And when you start stacking Nokias, you can really get a lot of advantage. Being able to just Digivolve for so cheap can really progress you here. So my hand is not good at all. I don't really have anything going for me. So I play the Stingmon out here just to try to keep something on board. However, if my opponent goes up into something like a BlackWarGreymon, they can just pop it here, and they are going to do that using the Nokia to make it Digivolve for 3, and I still can't really promote. I don't have anything to go into. The BlackWarGreymon did just get played, so I can play out my Davisken here, and it is at least a little bit safe. It's not going to just get popped by BlackWarGreymon right away, but still, just sitting and raising for multiple turns, the BlackWarGreymon is going to start going pretty crazy here soon. It does have security attack +1 with that Greymon, so we can get a lot of checks. Gonna go with the Nokia tap right there, so that way that Greymon costs 0, being able to gain the memory with its effect, and then reducing the Digivolution cost with the Nokia. But here we see the bane of Imperial's existence in this matchup, the Greymon X Antibody coming out. So now, once that Digivolve's on top, since they have the Greymon underneath, I can't Megadeth that because they will just be able to remove those 2 sources and prevent it, and it would essentially cost me 2 Megadeths to get the same effect here. Drawing into a Hammer Spark there is not going to help me. I pretty much needed XVmon in Raising this entire time. I went into the Stingmon and didn't really have anything else, but here is where I make a pretty dumb play, to be honest. I for a second kind of forgot that he can just swing over me with the BlackWarGreymon, so I played the Ragemon out here, hoping that I could stick it on board and gain the memory with Davisken, and then as soon as I played it, me and my opponent were talking about that he can just swing over. So that was a mistake, but I really didn't have any other play besides passing, which is technically better because then I wouldn't have lost my Ragemon, but I don't really have any way of getting it out as it is. I think the only rookie that was in my hand is a Madoki, so if I went and played the Madoki, I wouldn't even be able to go into the Ragemon. And now here we see another Greymon X Antibody coming out, so really starting to fall super far behind. Haven't done anything this game, so it's just at a point where my opponent swings in. If they hit something like Davis and some blue memory boost, maybe I could get something going here, but I'm falling super far behind. Gonna get 3 checks right now, +1 with the Greymon, and then +1 with the tie. So they do hit the Davis, but I don't hit the blue source that I need to be able to DNA Digivolve up. I do hit the Imperialdramon, but I need XVmon. I need to somehow get that Magnamon in my hand out or anything like that. The Davis does help a little bit because now with the Davis and the Davisken, I would go to 4 next turn, but my opponent's just gonna swing in, and I can't do anything there. If I hit the Megadeth, I would have been able to bounce the Greymon X Antibody there since it doesn't have the inheritable live yet. But getting on into game 2, the camera did actually turn off in between the shuffling of game 1 and game 2, so I had to get up and fix it. So we did miss the first turn. I had my opponent go first. All they did was play the Nokia and had nothing come out of it, so put me to 3. So now I'm going to go up into the XVmon, and I'm going to Hammer Spark up and put my opponent to 2 with the Stingmon. I don't know 100% if the Hammer Spark was really needed there. I just wanted to give my opponent the minimal memory so they can't progress. They didn't have a rookie, and they didn't play anything off Nokia, so as of right now, I don't think their hand is too good. So by just limiting their choices, they are going to give me more memory. By hard playing the Greymon there, they did give me 3, and I did have the Imperialdramon, so I just wanted the Stingmon out, and I wanted it to survive. So now Imperialdramon's out. Going to be able to swing with jamming, get some draws here. I do hit the Cool Boy, but as of right now, I'm not too worried, and then hit the tie, and once again, 2 Tamers does suck because now I can't choke my opponent, but with them not having a rookie last turn, we are still looking pretty good. I can get this blue memory boost out here so I have a little bit more memory in the future turns, and then just going to pass turn with the dragon mode. There's nothing my opponent can do this turn to really disrupt this. They could play something like a removal card, but then I'm not as worried as I was previously because I just still have so much going for me. But now I can just go for game right here. My opponent only has 2 security checks, and I do have the ability to DNA Digivolve in hand, so I'm going to swing with jamming, hit the red memory boost. I'm going to DNA Digivolve up into Imperialdramon, and my opponent's just going to scoop it right there because even with single removal there, I would just be able to swing in with Imperialdramon, unsuspend, and if they hit something that did remove one of my Digimon, I'd still have one more swing to go for game. So very quick game 2, and then getting on into game 3. My opponent has me go first, and now I am missing the rookie, so I'm going to start off with Davis. That's not really how you want to go. You don't want to give this deck 4 memory so early because they can start to build up into their Metal Greymons and threaten BlackWarGreymon, but luckily for me, they do spend the memory to go into the Agumon, and yes, they do get to search, but I really just am scared that they're going to build up this turn, and the fact that all they did was play a rookie and play a tamer isn't too bad. But luckily for me, I was able to hit a rookie off that Davis, so I can start to build up here. Gonna go with the XVmon in raising, want to try to get up into that Imperialdramon later. Off that draw right there, I did draw the Stingmon, so that's gonna be very good for me. I got the Imperialdramon already, Stingmon's in hand and XV in racing with Davis and Davis Ken, so already setting up pretty good. My opponent is going to build up here, but like I said, they didn't build up as much as I thought they would last turn, so I'm not feeling as threatened. And they're going to go with the red memory boost here. I do have multiple Madokis in the deck to try and shut those down. Don't have one in hand right now, but with these decks that are playing multiple memory boosts, Madoki is a pretty good card here, but I am going to promote. Going to go ahead and swing in with that jamming, get the draw, hit the tie. Not that big of a deal. They already have one out. They are going to get the extra security attack once they get up into their Mega, but as of right now, I'm going to prevent that by going into Imperialdramon, bottom decking that Greymon, and then I'm going to be able to swing in with jamming, gain that memory, draw 2 cards, and I'm going to swing in again right here. I do have the Davis Ken live, so I was considering going up into the fighter mode. Was just thinking about if that was the play, and so I decided to swing in right there, get that draw with Stingmon, and then I can go into fighter mode, put my opponent to their 3 that they're going to be at anyway, and now I'm feeling pretty good. They can, like I said, if they have removal, they can get rid of it. I'm not sure if they have removal in the deck, and I have been kind of playing around it being in there, but if they don't have it, then this fighter mode is going to stick there, and it's going to be a pretty big problem because as of right now, they only have 2 checks left. I can swing twice with the fighter mode. I can use it to suspend their Digimon to then swing over it if I don't want to go for game or anything like that. So I know my opponent's thinking the same thing. They know that they are on the chopping block, potentially could go down next turn, so they either have to do something to prevent it, or they just have to go for game themselves. They can swing all the checks right here. They have security attack plus 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's going to be swinging for 5 checks here. Gonna hit Madoki, then Davis. Davis comes out, searches, and normally Davis secondary wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it does hit the Lobomon for me, which is really big because now I have the 2 swings with the fighter mode, and then potentially Lobomon for game, and I am missing 1 check here. It is going to be the 5th check, so we are going to swing it right there, and it hits the Imperialdramon, so my opponent is good. They got that DP boost, so they will survive, get through all 5 of those checks without hitting anything to take them down, but they are going to pass turn with the Agumon X Antibody, and now I have 2 swings with the fighter mode and the Lobo in hand. Both me and my opponent know that Lobo's there, so gonna Digivolve and raising just for the formality in case something does go down in security, but I'm gonna swing, gonna be able to gain the memory, draw cards, and I hit an Agumon in the check, so I am good to go for that 2nd check, and I hit Nokia, but they are not playing the black blocker Agumon, so there's nothing that's gonna stop this Lobomon from going in, so just barely able to take that out. It's a very weird matchup in this metagame, much different in the past, and something that I don't have as much experience in as I did before, so I wasn't exactly sure how this matchup would go. It does seem like once one deck starts to snowball, it does get ahead, but with that being said, this is going to be today's match. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe because I'll be bringing you even more Digimon content, but I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out!